So greetings from a very hot and dusty, grimy Istanbul. So yeah, we're here. Well, I'm here. We're missing somebody. We are missing Dilafruz. So we had been planning to travel to Uzbekistan for a long time, for the most of 2024, to go and see Dila's family in Uzbekistan. And we have a problem. We're also going on a cruise in Greece and Italy in October. So Dila's applied for a Schengen visa and her passport's still not been returned. So ultimately, we're in a position now where the passport didn't return. She's not been able to fly. So I'm literally here solo on the way to Uzbekistan. I'm here for a night. The reason why we've done it this way is because we wanted to stay in Istanbul, but also it works out cheaper to do it this way. But I'm solo, so we've got no dealer. And I tell you what, there's a lot of stairs in Istanbul. Didn't really consider that when I started this walk. So yeah, we're waiting for Dila's passport to be released by the French, so she's able to travel, which isn't ideal, but it is where it is. She's gonna have to relinquish her plane ticket, so we're gonna have to get a new ticket for her when she has the passport, which is annoying, but you know, it is what it is, because she's gonna miss that flight tomorrow to Tashkent. So yeah, it's a bit of a chaotic one, this one, because I've arrived in Istanbul. Because of Dila not being able to come, I've not really planned it in any way. We were gonna kind of just, you know, play it by ear when we got here. But I'm solo, and the other thing that happened was on the flight, when I got the bag of the carousel, it was all messed up. All the zip was broke, everything was falling out of it. So yeah, that is a bit of a problem as well, because I've got to get a new suitcase. And I'm in Istanbul. It's a little bit chaotic. It's cool to be here though. You know, it's a place that I've wanted to come now for a while. So yeah, I've got to sort that out as well. So I don't really know what this is going to be. I'm on the way to a mall now because obviously to get the case. They have places like Samsonite, but I don't want to spend like £400–500 on a suitcase. So I'm hoping to find a cheaper place where I can actually get a suitcase, and yeah, we can continue the adventure, because at the moment I've just got lumps of clothes in the hotel room. I don't think I can take that on the Uzbek Air flight that I've got planned. So it's going to kind of play it by ear. Hopefully get a new place quite soon. I think the Grand Bazaar could be a place to get that suitcase, but we're going to try this mall first. And then I want to just see some highlights. So Taksim Square, I want to see the Blue Mosque, I want to see the Grand Bazaar. If we can get a riverboat cruise in tonight, I'd love to do that as well. Get some doner kebab, just have a good time basically. So yeah, we'll see how it is. Plenty of cats, as you can see here. They do seem quite friendly. But they are absolutely everywhere, and they seem to treat them really well. There's plates of food everywhere, and I mean, there's even a place for them to go to the toilet here. I mean, never seen that before in the city. Yeah, the cat is kind of grossly playing with it at the moment. Yeah, so I'm going to get lots of steps in today. It's quite hot, lots of steps, so just prepare for a sweaty man on camera. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I feel like this encapsulates Istanbul quite well. You know, it's a really interesting place. And there's obviously money here, and there's a lot of change going on, lots of buildings and things like that. You can hear the singing in the background there from maybe a local mosque. So yeah, I just wanted to show it. The flight this morning, had to get an Uber at 4 a.m. to Manchester. And then the flight was about 8 a.m, a 4-hour flight. Slept the whole way, fortunately. And then arrived in Istanbul at about 2 p.m. And I got a taxi to the hotel. Just a local hotel, nothing special. In the north of the city, just so I could get a quick getaway tomorrow to the airport. Just sort of let that car go past, it's a bit loud. Yeah, it is very loud here. If you wanted to lie in, I think you'd be woken up by beeping and singing, but you know, it's a kaleidoscope of different people. It'll be really interesting to see. So yeah, probably another 20 minutes walk to the mall. So there are pet shops everywhere, which is really interesting. Look at little pet houses. So these cats have somewhere to go. And look, there's food left out for them, and look here, you can see one of the kitties. There's pet shops everywhere, and there's cats everywhere, and dogs. A really interesting place. I've been to Turkey before. Small sort of tourist village, Kalkan, been there multiple times. They have loads of dogs, but yeah, it's just interesting seeing like a major city. All this pet love. Oh, we've got more pet stuff there. Got someone walking the dog, but also as well a bit of a pet park. We see the dog around the side of that. Yeah, really interesting. I mean, the cattle there as well. Yeah, pet lovers. I didn't actually realise how much they love pets here. So I'm here now at the mall, the Istanbul Şehir. So we'll see what it's like. It looks quite modern. I've just walked past a Burger King and a KFC. Always a good sign. There's a lot of people kind of hanging out. Seems like the place to be. So yeah, going to see if we can get ourselves a suitcase. If not, we're going to move on to Taksim Square, which is like a major tourist hub. So I'm in, and it is quite magnificent. They've even got dealer's favourite Zara. So she's going to be extra disappointed to be missing out on this. We've got Mango as well, another favourite dealers. We had to go through like a security, like an airport almost thing to kind of get here, which is really interesting. Never seen that before in a mall. Yeah, I don't know why. I know they've had problems with terrorism in the past in Istanbul, but yeah, interesting. So I've got no real idea what kind of shop that would interest me in terms of selling a suitcase. Don't want to spend too much money on it, so I think you know, Samsonite is out of the question. But yeah, let's see how we get on. So we've found some cases, and they're a nice price, but yeah, not big enough. About £20 for a decent sized medium case, but yeah, I think a big one really. Bit of a shame. Have to probably try somewhere else now. Probably go down to Taksim Square and see how we get on. I think the bazaar could be the place to go. There might be some haggling that we've got to do. So after the luggage business, I am now in Taksim Square. So obviously still need to track down the case, but I thought on the way, you know, let's enjoy some of the sights of Istanbul. So this is seen as a bit of a kind of a hub area where people can kind of like meet to go to different places. It seems like a lot of people are kind of like meeting up with each other. I think it's a bit like the heart of kind of modern Istanbul. Obviously Istanbul's a very old city with a glorious history. But this place here, I think is seen as kind of like an emblem of kind of like the modern Istanbul that it's become. There isn't really too much to see. I mean, there's this beautiful kind of mosque-like building in the background here, which I'll probably walk past. But as I say, it's more of kind of a hub more than anything to kind of get you to where you need to go. So I suppose, where am I going to go next? I think we're going to go I'm going to keep continuing south into the city to try and get to that area with the Grand Bazaar, the Blue Mosque. I think I'm going to walk it. It's about an hour's walk. Good chance to get some steps in and just see if I see anything interesting along the way. I am getting quite hungry and I do fancy a kebab, so I probably will stop for that. Just a side note as well, the metro was an experience. To be fair, the trains were pretty modern actually. It wasn't really in regards to that. It was just kind of a bit of an ordeal from start to finish. So you have to buy kind of like a card, similar to the Suitcase card in Japan, or an Oyster card, but it's mandatory. So you can't just buy a single ticket. You have to actually purchase this card. And then you can kind of add money to it. So I did that. I think the card was about something like 200 lira. So it's not actually, you know, majorly expensive. I think that's about £5. No, the card was cheaper than that, sorry. I put 200 lira on the card. I think the card was about 70 lira, which is about, I think that's about £2, something like that. Still trying to get the exchange rate, because at the moment it's something like 44 lira to the pound. So I'm still trying to get accustomed to it. But yeah, it's I don't know, maybe £1.50, £2, something like this. And then you can put money on. So I put on, like I say, 200 lira. Yeah, which is about £500. £5. But yeah, the experience itself was crazy because it was so hot on that metro. I don't think I've ever been in an enclosed space that hot before. I mean, people were getting on and almost like sighing, like feeling the heat and seeing how kind of busy it was on there. You know, it was a lot of hot people in a tight, close space with no air conditioning, real deep in the earth, you know. The escalator didn't work as well, so I had to walk down. You know, it was like, it felt like a 300 steps. It was real deep. I've been on some deep metros as well, Ukraine in Kiev being one of them, but this one was deep. And yeah, it was a bit of an uncomfortable experience. wasn't the best. Maybe I've been a bit spoiled having just come back from Japan and the public transport there, but yeah, it wasn't the best. I don't know if I'll use it. If I have to, I will, but if I can avoid it, I won't. So yeah, I'm going to get moving. I can feel a bit of a stiff breeze now, which is nice because it's been such a hot day. I think it's because I'm getting closer to the ocean. So yeah, I'm going to make a move. So something else I need to do is get some lira. I mean, I am using my credit card. My Revolut card didn't work, which is a bit annoying. I had put some lira on before. It's only about £40 worth, but still a bit annoying that I couldn't spend it. Don't know why. I need to call Revolut and sort that out. Been able to use my Monzo card, but a lot of places do only take cash. So I do need to get some cash, but they've lost control of their currency completely in the last few years. The first time I came to Turkey, I think it was about 7 lira to the pound. Now it's about 45 lira, 44 lira to the pound, which is wild, absolutely crazy. So I'm only going to get lira that I know I'm going to spend, because if I come back in a year, it could be 100 lira to the pound. I will be coming back in a couple of weeks because on our return leg from Tashkent, we are scheduled to be here for another night. So hopefully Dila will get to see Istanbul then on the way back from Tashkent. And then on the cruise that we're taking in October, Istanbul's also a stop on that as well. So yeah, we're getting plenty of Istanbul action this year. But yeah, really interesting. So I might only get maybe £20-30. So I'd be interested to see what the exchange rate is. I've heard the Grand Bazaar area is the best place to exchange money. So we'll probably wait until we get there. Okay, now we're talking. Got some proper doner shops along here. I do want somewhere I can sit down, really. Feeling a little bit tired, having walked for the last, you know, hour, maybe hour and a half, kind of around Istanbul. But yeah, it looks like we're kind of getting a little bit closer to what I expected before coming here. I mean, what's really cool is here, you've got a Burger King and then a mosque right next to it. So you've got that kind of contrast between east meets west, which I always enjoy. And look at that mosque in the background. It's really beautiful, actually. So yeah, we'll walk down here. If we can get some food, we will. But if not, I'll soldier on to the south part of the city. So I've stopped in Bambi Cafe, which is probably what got me in here, to be honest, was Bambi. Why not? A little bit of the familiar. And I've got a meat doner, which is not that bad. This one here, this page, in the same position. Which is that one there, 110 grams. So yeah, we'll see how it is. Comes with a Coke as well. I don't know, 385. Not really sure what that is in pounds. Yeah, pay at the end. So the food has arrived. Don't think this is what I ordered, to be honest, but I will eat it anyway. We'll see. It's definitely not a doner, it's more of a burger, I think. But yeah, it should be nice. Okay, so I've just finished in the Bambi Cafe. It was actually pretty good. The chips were awful for the most part. It just tasted like frozen chips, but the doner was good. Yeah, it had like a nice pizza as well, some sauce on it. It was pretty tasty. So as we know, the big mission of the night is to try and get a case. I've just looked at the Grand Bazaar times. It looks like it actually closes at 7. I don't know how true that is. Never been, which is a bit unfortunate. So I've really got kind of a couple of options because it's about 7 o'clock now. Most of the shops will be closed soon. There is a 24-hour luggage place. I'm not sure on the quality of the suitcases, but that might be what I have to go for. Keep wanting to say we. I'm missing Tila, I have to say. So, yeah, if I keep on saying we, just bear with me. I mean I. It's just me. Unless I've got a sneaky friend with me, which I don't. So yeah, I'm going to walk down still to the south part, as I keep on saying. Yeah, just going to kind of see what's on the way. Hopefully get some luggage. And maybe see the mosque. See the bazaar if we can. Maybe also do a boat trip if we can. Just depends on time, really. But yeah, I'm having a good time. Especially now with a full belly. So this is is like, I don't know, the Oxford Street, Bond Street of Istanbul. Look, they've even got the Bond Street decorations. I mean, that's amazing, that. Still got Christmas decorations up this time of the year. But yeah, it's super busy. It's a bit like Ramblas as well in Barcelona. Really busy, but lots of shops. So yeah, I might stick my head in a couple if I see anything interesting. So I wasn't lying when I said this would be a bit of a mission. On the way, I've stopped to get some baklava. So yeah, we'll see how it tastes. Usually baklava is one of my favourite desserts. So yeah, really looking forward to it. It was about £2.70 for the 2 pieces, which I don't think is too bad. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to find a place to eat it on this busy street. So on the way to the south part of the city, see the Blue Mosque. I think we found the most Instagrammable part of the city. I mean, everyone here is just taking pictures basically. It seems to be the most popular part. But it's a really stunning tower. It looks like something like out of a movie, you know, like Harry Potter has this kind of, you know, fantastical kind of, I don't know, almost like Atlantean element to it. You know, it's a really stunning tower. And what's nice about it as well, it seems like there's different viewpoints you can have. The street I was just on seems like one of the most popular though, just judging by the amount of people posing for the photos here. And what's cool is you can actually go up into the tower. I mean, this is the queue here. So just in front, that kind of ring of people around the building. So over here, you can actually go up and go. Looks like it's €30. It is quite expensive actually to go and see it. It's in euros actually, not pounds or lira, which you'd expect. Shows how touristy it is. But I think while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy some of my baklava. Really majestic. Yeah, these look really good. So now it's well and truly golden hour, and it is an absolutely magical sunset here in Istanbul. So before I came to Istanbul, this is what I was imagining. You know, the river Bosphorus there, you got Asia on the other side there of the river, obviously here on the European side, but you can see kind of like the multi-layered kind of topography there in the distance, you know, the different elevations of the buildings. It's such a beautiful kind of skyline. You can't really see it here on the camera, which is a little disappointing, but in person it looks amazing. You know, it is a multi-layered history here as well in Istanbul, and you can see that again in the skyline. You know, definitely the past dominates the modern. But it's a really beautiful view. It's really beautiful. Some big boy seagulls as well. I mean, they're huge. What's cool is it looks like you can actually eat by the river. So yeah, it'd be nice to do that one time. Maybe when Dila and I come, or maybe when we're here on the cruise. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. I'll see if I can get pictures from the other side. It seems like fishing is really popular. It's like being back in Anglesey at Beaumaris, but you can see their buckets are full of fish. So you know they must be pretty good at it. Probably why it's so popular. But what's cool as well, just kind of midway now over the bridge, maybe a third in, and you've got a really good view here of the Asian part of the city as well. Again, not got a long lens on it, it's just with the iPhone, so it's difficult to see it, but yeah, I mean, some really interesting architecture in Istanbul. You know, it's a chaotic city, but it really does have some magic to it as well. Oh, and on a side note, the baklava was just okay. A little bit pistachio-y for me, a little bit, it was overpoweringly. I like more of a sweet, syrupy baklava. But apparently, you can get a ferry over to the Asian side. Not sure which one the ferry is, but it's super cheap apparently, only 50p kind of a trip. So, you know, obviously you've got to go there and back, so it's probably be about £1 in total. It's not a bad price, that. Could be worth it, because it would be cool to get on the water and look around the city, but I don't know if I'm going to have time tonight, unfortunately, with this bloody suitcase issue. But we'll see. So I've just come down to the bottom where those restaurants were, and just for a closer look really over the river, because I mean it's such an amazing view. Look at that, that is absolutely breathtaking, really spectacular. So yeah, this side's magical because you have got that kind of view of Asia. I'm going to have a look at the other side to see So I've been walking all day through the city, and to be honest, it hasn't really blown me away. You know, it's super hot, and it didn't really feel like there's anything that special I was seeing. It definitely got more pretty the further the walk went on, but I think now I can kind of appreciate the essence of Istanbul more than I did before with this section here. I think when we come on the cruise especially, we're going to spend our time around here. I think this is the nice part to show the family rather where I've just been from. Yeah, but the reason I booked that hotel was because of the proximity to the airport, so it should be quite easy for me to get out in the morning for that flight to Tashkent. So this is the view from the other side. Again, we've got more kind of restaurants and bars. That kind of area there is where I've just been from. Looks quite typical for where I just was. It's that sort of style of architecture. But over here you can see one of the bridges, and again, people watching the sunset. Just going to go around the other side and see what we can see. So we've got another spectacular view of the mosque here. I don't actually know which mosques are which. I know there's a blue mosque that's really famous. Could be that one, to be honest. I'm not actually sure. I think it could be, but we'll just have to see until I get closer. It could be the one on the other side. Something I really admire about the city and how they're running it is the massive use of this waterway here. You know, I think water always it just creates magic vibes, right? No matter what city in the world it is. We've done some amazing river cruises, like in Bangkok, for example. And yeah, they're just really amazing. I wish cities kind of put more into them. You know, for example, like Paris and London. I don't think it's done to the same degree. Because here, I mean, look at it. It's just absolutely stunning. Really stunning. As I've said, the camera does not do it justice. That is not the Blue Mosque as well, by the way. I believe it is actually at the back, way over there. So we will get there later on in the evening. So I finally tracked down a suitcase. I had to just grab it. All the stores were closing. It got to like 8 o'clock. Everywhere was closing, so I was like, shit, better grab it, which I have done. It feels cheap, feels a bit nasty, very basic. I'm a bit scared to wheel it in case the wheels break, but it was only 20 quid and it saved the day. So yeah, I did want to get it on film, me actually sort of choosing the bag, because I thought that'd make excellent content. Of course it would. It would have been super interesting. So yeah, a bit hot, a bit sweaty, because I've been walking with the bag uphill for probably about 10-15 minutes. Going to go back to the hotel, drop it off. I did want to do that river cruise and see the Blue Mosque. I think it's a bit late for the Blue Mosque now. It's just going to be dark. It's going to be a black mosque under the night sky. And the river cruises, I could probably miss the last sailing, but I might get the ferry. So I'm thinking, right, drop this off, back at the room, get back out, see if we can get on the ferry, and probably just grab some late night food. And then it'll be bedtime really, and early start for the flight tomorrow. And the flight's at about lunchtime tomorrow, maybe 12, something like this. So I need to check in for that, and then I'm good to go. But yeah, lugging this across town isn't fun. Got a bit shafted really with that suitcase. I'm blaming dealer. The zip was broken as we were packing it. So I suppose you can blame ourselves. Should have swapped luggage with dealer, and then yeah, obviously she could have bought a new one for her flight. But yeah, so there we go. Cheap and nasty bag, but we move. I've got an hour on the metro to get back to my part of town. Yeah, the public transport isn't great here in Turkey, gotta say. But as I say, I've been spoiled recently. So yeah, gonna keep moving. It's a bit of a ghost town now. Yes. Everywhere's closed. Yes. Just on the way back to the hotel to drop off this annoying case. Story of the day. And I just came across this. I mean, this is incredible, isn't it? I mean, look how stunning this is. It looks like a mosque, but I mean, if that was a hotel, God, I mean, how popular would that be? It's breathtaking. I mean, wow, it looks like something out of Aladdin. I mean, I'd love to stay here if it was a hotel. It'd probably be £1 million a night. I mean, imagine being on one of those balconies. It is absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. They've got a real way with building these mosques here in Turkey. Yeah, they're amazing. Just imagine that as a Disney hotel or something. I think it'd fit really well. But yeah, I mean, things like this just aren't built anymore, are they? I mean, where is the ingenuity these days to build something like that? Yeah, really special. So, it's taken me a couple of hours from when I left the kind of the shopping area where the old town kind of is with the mosques and whatnot. It's taken me 2 hours to get back to the hotel. So it's a bit long now. It's probably not a bit too late. It's about 10 p.m. sorry, to then go and do the ferry. I mean, the ferry does run till midnight, but I'm quite tired. I'm just going to go and grab some food and then just chill in the room. Really, desperately need a shower as well. It's so hot. But I don't want things to close. I mean, I'm in a sort of a quieter part of town. There's no foreigners, it's just me it seems. Everyone seems to be local, which is cool. But yeah, places tend to close earlier in those sorts of places. So yeah, I'm just going to get some water, probably get another kebab, and yeah, just hang out in the room. So yeah, I'm going to call it good night. So I'm just waiting for my taxi to arrive to take me to the airport to fly to Uzbekistan. Just wanted to kind of give some thoughts on Istanbul generally as a city. I wouldn't say it's my favourite city that I've been to. I've enjoyed the experience. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Mumbai in India, except it's a little bit less chaotic. But it is a chaotic place, you know. There's a lot of people, and you know, there's animals everywhere. You know, there's mice and cats and massive seagulls, and it's quite spread out as well. And the public transport is good, but not quite as reliable as other cities. So again, you know, it's a little bit more of a challenge to navigate when it's so big. The metro is pretty good, to be fair. But for example, things like buses, it's not really always obvious kind of where to get the bus isn't on time, that sort of thing really. A lot of the city is quite, you know, run down in areas, but parts of it are very beautiful at the same time, especially that kind of southern part of the city. And also as well, I mean, it surprised me in terms of, I mean, Turkey, famous for hospitality. The hospitality, for example, in Kalkan, where I've been before, it has been amazing. But here, I've not sort of experienced it the same way. It kind of reminds me of any kind of other big city in Europe, where, you know, people are a bit more kind of maybe introspective in how they sort of look at the world around them. You know, they're not kind of maybe not as welcoming as other places, which is fine. That's normal, you know, being from Manchester and you know, experiencing London. It's the same in the UK as well. But if I just compare it to kind of Kalkan, which is where I've been to before, I know it's very much catered for tourists, but it's just a little bit different. Something I've had to get used to while being here. So I mean, it's not a place I'd rush back to, being completely honest. But I will be rushing back in a few weeks' time when I return. So I mean, maybe I'll get a different kind of experience of the city, which is always good. Yeah, that can happen as well. And then hopefully this time I'll have Dealer with me. I mean, that might sort of impact my enjoyment of it as well, with her not being here. I don't have her to kind of bounce off like I normally would. But yeah, it's been fun so far. We'll just see what it's like in a few weeks. And then obviously my parents are here as well on the cruise. We're going to do the Grand Bazaar. We're going to do the Blue Mosques. I've not done some kind of those key tourist activities. Hopefully get a cruise as well on the River Bosphorus. So it's been more of kind of like a vibes and first impression. But that's it. Yeah, thanks for joining me for my chaotic 24 hours in Istanbul.